my God, what a day. I hope my storage doesn't like go crazy on me again. My storage has been going absolutely wild, you guys. Absolutely wild. You won't even, like, crazy. Okay, I have a really big thing to share with you. Huge. Okay. Usually I don't go by a script. You know that. Usually it's just one-on-one, having a conversation. But the last video I did, not the last, but one of the ones I did within this week, like, really did well. And I had a comment on there, and the girl said, oh my God, I love this video. I want you to like elaborate and go more in depth and yada yada. And to be honest with you, I didn't really realize like how much I didn't elaborate and share, because part of me feels very, very private still. But if me sharing in-depth things will help, okay, I will get so super in-depth with everything. I didn't really set up. I just kind of like went for it today. I wanted a candle to burn. I don't have a ton of time. I really, really don't have a ton of time. Like I've been saying, I've been having a lot of tech issues with like everything. So needless to say, I've been running around trying to like figure out a phone situation, more storage, what's really going on. I don't know. I think what's going on is, God is testing me in every shape, way, and form. And if you're new here, I'm going to get more into that, but if you're new here, you know that my business is social media marketing, content creations. I need my media. I need my phone to work. So like, what is going on? Have you been experiencing this? Because a few other girlies have been telling me that their stuff is going wonky too, and it has to do with like retrograding or whatever's going on. And like, there's been a lot going on. So anyways, the video that I did was advice I wish I knew in my 20s. That did very, very well. And the other video that did very, very well was I changed my life and this is how I did it. All right, I'm drinking 2 drinks. I have my coconut water because I promised my facial girly that I would drink more water. And I'm drinking my coffee because like I need to. Things I wish I knew in my 20s, hydrate. Things I wish wait, what was that other video title? See, like, I'm out of it. Hold on. Usually, I use a straw, but my other lady was like, no straws. Everyone's giving me different advice. No straws, use a straw. Who knows? Do you use a straw? Okay, things I wish I knew in my 20s and how I changed my life. How I changed my life was not caring about what people thought. So like me just like going off script here and just doing whatever I want, like sip of coffee, sip of coconut water. Who cares? I don't know where I want to put everything. I'm going to put everything in front of me so I don't forget that it's there. Okay, so I should have probably said this before. If you're new here, hello, how are you? I'm so happy you found my channel. Genuinely, I'm so happy you found my channel because I want this channel to be super raw, unedited. Nothing's edited here. If it is, it's just because like yesterday, my video that was edited because, you know, the baby woke up and it was crazy. So I'm not going to film like random crap and like waste your time. I'm really, really big on my time. Time wasted is time never found again. I don't want to waste your time. And there is a pandemic of loneliness going on, and I want you to feel like you are seen, heard, understood, and loved because you are loved, you are seen, and you are heard. And I want this to be like a one-on-one friendship. I want you to feel like you have someone to go to when you feel like you don't have anyone to go to. I'm about to cry. That like breaks my heart that people feel so lonely right now. And I don't want you to feel lonely. So like pat yourself on the back for being here. I'm so happy you're here. And I really took a lot of time to make this. And when it started flowing, it really started to come. And like I said, typically I don't go off a script, but this time I did write down notes because I wanted to share a lot with you and I didn't want to miss much, okay? I didn't want to miss things because I really want to make sure that I'm giving you everything that you asked for. And that might be relating more. So I wrote down a few things and I did give a few examples and I'm sure I'll have more to think of when the time comes up in the video. But I wrote this down again just so I could really truly give you everything that I'm promising you in my videos, which is being able to relate. Okay, so I really did upgrade my life, and I don't really like talking about my upbringing. It's a little too personal and it's a little too hard to talk about, but I do want to share it with you a little bit. So, and by no means am I talking badly about anyone. Like, before I talk about my mom in this video, because I am going to talk about it, she did the best that she could. And we're human, we're growing, we're evolving. And I really don't, like, I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her at all. I'm actually happy that I went through what I went through, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be who I was today. So I just want to put that out there. Also, if you're going through a lot of crazy stuff right now, obviously I'm not like, I'm not a therapist. And like, please don't take my advice. Or do like, you do what you please with it. Okay. So I was an interesting child, to say the least. I think I was in survival mode a lot. I have really bad abandonment issues, because sometimes my mom would just go out and party and like not show up, bring me to my grandparents' house. I don't even know where to start. I feel like I should start from the very beginning. Okay, well, my parents were never together. I think I was a New Year's Eve baby. Like, I was made on New Year's Eve, and they were never really an item. So they were never married. So it was just really me and her growing up, and my grandparents were very good to my mom and helped her out a lot with like houses and cars and things. And I knew that my mom was really sick. So my mom was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis when she was 6 years old. So she was very sick a lot, all the time, in and out of the hospital. And I knew she relied on me. And I knew that my grandparents, from a very young age, I understood that my grandparents took care of my mom because they wanted me to be safe and thriving, right? But she didn't really show up that much, and she was kind of mentally unstable, and like, she did have an alcohol problem, and there was a lot of men in and out of the house. And it just wasn't like great. It wasn't a great childhood for me there. I was very protective over her. I always say to her, like, I'm actually your mother. I'm just younger than you. And whatever. Okay, I'm just telling you. It was really hard. It was really, really hard. There was abuse, but again, it's like one of those things where like, I forgive her. So I'm not telling you this to make me feel bad. I'm not a victim. I'm happy that everything happened the way that it happened. Again, so long story short, I went to my papa one day in the middle of Christmas break, or sometime in the middle of my 9th grade year, beginning of my 9th grade year, whatever, and told him everything that was going on. And my grandparents adopted me, and I believe that they were friends, and I know that they were friends with one of the lawyers there. So the process was very quick, very easy, and I'm very thankful for that, because now that I'm older, I understand that the adoption process is not easy. So that was an interesting time. I knew that if I didn't leave the town I grew up in, if I didn't leave those friends, if I didn't leave that situation, that home environment, I would probably end up on the streets and probably dead. So it wasn't something that I consciously did. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just knew in my heart that I had to leave that situation. And as hard as it was to leave my mother, again, I'm very spiritual. I feel a lot, and her energy was just not with mine. And I wasn't thinking that way back then. I was just thinking like, this is not good, and I need to leave. And I love her, and she's always going to be my mother, but I have to get out of this situation. It was very bad. And I know she loves me very much, and getting emotional. Getting so emotional, because I do love her and I do forgive her, but it was so hard to go through that as a child. I need a coffee break. Coffee break. And wow, that's a good combo. That's a really good combo. Wow. I am a mother now, and I understand how hard it must have been for her too. So I have a lot of sympathy. So I moved to Florida in the middle of my 9th grade year. Devastated, culture shocked, fucking everything. Devastated. It was crazy. And it was very hard adjusting. It was very, very hard to adjust to this culture. If you're from Florida, you understand. If you're from up north, like, I don't know where you're from, but the culture shock was real. Okay, I was like, what the fuck is going on in Florida? I was in public school for literally 2 weeks. I was super advanced. The school systems in Connecticut were very, very good. So I was literally put in all 12th grade classes when I was in 9th grade, and I was in like a public school. It was like jail there. I was terrified. So I came home one night and I told my grandparents, I was like 2 weeks in, and I was like, if you do not take me out of public school, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I quit life. Please put me in a private school. And so they did. And then that was another culture shock because all these kids were super like Bible thumping kids. And it was scary because I never opened a Bible a day in my life, and I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know what I believed, and there was a lot going on in my life, and and the teachers there were kind of assholes, and I was like, what the fuck is going on in this place? And like I couldn't say oh my God, and if you know me, I say oh my God a lot, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was very strong-minded then, just like as I am now. And I just didn't get along with the teachers really, and they would criticize me a lot and judge me a lot. I remember my first day there, the gym teacher was also the Bible teacher, and she gave us a test, and I had no fucking clue how to read a Bible. Like, it's confusing. And she hated me. She literally hated me. My gym teacher hated me because the first day I was there, they were talking about why gay marriage is wrong and why gays are wrong. And my answer, gay. And I was like, who gives a shit if they're gay or not? It's not your life. Like, who fucking cares, like, what they're doing in their extra time? Like, who cares? She's like, well, it's wrong and it's a sin. I said, you know, it's a sin judging other people. So, like, you're sinning just as equal and sin is equal. And I don't know. It was just, like, crazy. It was a crazy time. And my grandparents were doing their very best. My papa was diagnosed with cancer. Like 6 months into me living there and being adopted, and he got very, very sick, and he was my best friend, and we did a lot of work together, like renovating new houses, new spaces, and I had to watch him. Oh, this is so hard. I had to see him get really sick. Oh, I can't. I'm trying to hold it together for you guys. I'm doing my best. Why am I crying? I talk about this all the time, and I'm like not crying, but I am, and I'm human. And this shit hurts. So there's a lot of trauma in my life, like really early on. And I did really lose a chunk of my heart when he passed away. A huge chunk of my heart was just ripped away. But I know now that, so blurry. My contacts are so blurry. He was like my best friend, and I truly feel like he's an angel here for me, and I feel him a lot, and I truly feel like he really is around all the time. And if you have someone who you lost, I promise you, if you don't feel them around a lot, because I used to get upset with myself. I used to think, oh, is there something wrong with me? Like, why is he not here a lot? Like, what's going on? And I told you this before, I have an energy reader that I speak with once a month. She's kind of like my therapist, but like she's not a therapist. I'm just a very, very empath, and sometimes I just need help navigating life, and that's the best way that I found for me. I'm going to leave her link below if you want to use her. If you're like, oh my God, that's devil's work, then it is for you, and just don't click on the link, okay? So she said, listen, it was actually last month's reading, and I said, I just really want to know, like, I want to know what my angels are trying to, like, tell me right now. Like, what's going on? Like, I trust myself so much. I trust God so much, but I just need a little something, you know? And she was, like, telling me how my angels are just telling me that it's good. Everything is good. You're on the right path. And there is a male, an older male, like, looking over you. He's your spirit guide. And earlier that day, before me and her jumped on the reading, she said a large monarch butterfly was on her hand, and it was there for a long time. And when my papa passed away, that was what we saw all the time, was monarch butterflies. And then I don't know if it was the same day, but my sister came to visit, my soul sister came to visit from Jacksonville, and I made a video with her. She's in here somewhere. You see the video of us at the beach. She had a huge monarch butterfly land on her when she was leaving to come see me for like the week for my birthday. So I just feel his presence. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I did not feel him for a very long time. I didn't dream about him, nothing, and I thought there was something that I did wrong. But if I could tell you anything, is you're not doing anything wrong. If you want to feel more of like their presence of your loved one, if you're very okay with that, light a candle for them every day and just be like, I'm thinking of you, Papa, or I'm thinking of you, Mimi, I'm thinking of you, Auntie, whatever it is, and just say, I'm thinking of you. Just know that I'm missing you a little extra today, and I would love to just like have a little reminder that you're here watching over me, and they will show up. My papa has showed up like almost every single day. And I have been seeing monarch butterflies, but even more so, this is why I'm in blue right now. I'm very vibing with the color blue. If you haven't noticed, I do a color of the month, super off topic, but like it makes me feel really creative when I pick a color and I could just, I don't know, thrive off that color for the month. But I've been seeing blue butterflies a lot. Not like flying around, but like on bumper stickers or like everywhere. I've seen a lot of blue butterflies. So anyways, off topic, whatever. I wanted to give you a little bit of a backstory because my life was really, 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 really hard, but I'm so happy I went through those things. And I just want you to know that if your life is really, 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 really hard, there's a reason for the season, okay? Because you can't lead and grow and connect with people if you don't have experience to learn and grow and connect with them as well too, okay? So needless to say, there was a lot going on in my life early on, and I didn't really get into everything, but I got into the nitty-gritties a little bit. And I just had a really hard time. I felt very misunderstood for a very long time. Sometimes I still feel misunderstood. I just understand that like I operate differently than probably a lot of people. And I found my tribe, funny enough, on YouTube, and like people here and there I meet that I really, really connect to, and like we have like deep conversations. And that's where I thrive, when I can like really, really, really connect with someone and have like deep conversations about life. Like that's where I feel most safe. Me and my girlfriend were laughing earlier because she's like, people must think, because I said this, I'm like, people like must think I'm stupid because sometimes I just feel so too deep. I think too deeply and I feel too deeply that like I almost can't have a normal conversation of like, how's the weather? Like I feel so super awkward. Like, but she's like, oh my God, laughing. We're like voice messaging, and she's like, yeah, I literally have to throw up like left and right, and people think I'm stupid, but it's kind of my superpower because I'm not stupid. Like she wants to talk about quantum leaping and like timelines and energy and like quantum physics, me too, but when we try to have like normal basic conversations, it like just can't happen, you know? So anyways, I feel very misunderstood, and part of feeling misunderstood was not knowing who I was, going into a marriage that I had no business going into, being in careers I had no business being in. And so I want to help guide you to the next level. This is why I do what I do. This is why I make YouTube videos. This is why I'm writing a book. This is why everything, like my life mission right now is to help guide you, because I was so lost and I wish I had someone to guide me. And if you could learn anything from me, like sometimes life still has to happen to you to learn, because you're not going to really truly understand until it happens to you. But like, I just want the best for you truly. So I wrote down a few things. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a context of me, and like maybe you could relate and understand. So how I changed my life. Okay, so I went from kind of being like victim mentality because of everything that happened, like why me, to this is happening for me, not to me. Okay, I really changed my mindset, and like everything changed when that happened. So how I changed my life. The first thing was I understood that I was the main character of my own story. Yes, like a movie. Yes, like a book. I stopped looking at my life like I was a victim, and I started looking at it like, okay, well, if I'm the main character, then I'm in control. What can happen next? And I heard this crazy concept the other day, and I'm trying to like I'm still trying to like figure it out really, but like I wanted to share with you still, is remembering your future. I don't know if you've heard that, but basically it's like you script in a journal, which is just journaling really, and like talking about your future career, your future job, your future this and that. So you're remembering where you're going. It's kind of a tricky concept, but like, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. Ooh, wow, that's super bright. I like that. I like it. Okay, so I also brought my journal so I could show you, like, if you haven't been in other videos, you could see what my journal looks like, so you could see like how very intentional I am with my life, because I never want to feel out of control again. And like, again, life will happen. Life happens. It's okay. But if you could really focus on where you're going, baby steps, you'll get there. Okay, and the next thing I wrote down is I wrote down all areas of my life I wanted to change. Okay, I really did. I did not want to be that little girl that felt abandoned. I nurtured her. I used to have a picture up here of me when I was little. I just like, sometimes it's like a little too much for me, and I like to put it away, so I put it away. But I wrote down all areas of my life that I wanted to change. I look at that every single day, you guys, and I started small and I do a little bit every day, like a little bit every single day. All my clients get a little bit of me every single day. Well, a lot of it of me, but they do get a little bit of me every day. Let's say I have 30 clients. I work on all 30 accounts every single day. Okay. I do the dishes every day. I do the laundry every day. I don't work out every day. I'd like to say I was going to, and then I was sick in the middle of it, and I was like, F this, I have a lot going on. Maybe I'll come back to that. But I do a little bit every single day, like whatever you want to do, like writing my book a little bit every day. I do a video every day. I do media every day. Like I make sure that I do that because it proves to me that I am who I say I am, and it proves to like the world. I'm not trying to prove to the world, but like a little bit every day goes a long way. Think about it this way. If you drink alcohol every single day, where are you going to be in 30 years? If you work out every single day for 30 years, where are you going to be? Right? A little bit adds up. A crumb is a cookie, is a buffet. And I say this to everyone in my family, like be very careful about your small habits because your small habits become your big habits, okay? So I showed up no matter what, how I felt, or no matter what anyone told me. Like I remember in the beginning of my career, I will never forget this. I was posting a lot on Instagram. I was making a lot of reels, and this guy was like, oh my God, you posted another reel? Yeah, I did post another reel because I saw the bigger picture and I saw like what it was going to take to grow online, to get to where I am right now. So no matter what, I just like stopped caring about what people were saying and I just did it because I understood the bigger picture. I found myself crying a lot, but I knew God was testing me. Through everything I've been through, now I am able to share with you guys and like write in my book practical tips and tricks on how to overcome certain situations, especially guiding women, especially for younger girls, especially for business women and moms. I'm able to be there for them and be like, this is what I did. I hope this helped. Here's a practical tip. So if you're feeling like your life is really, really hard, just know that it's for the greater good. Like nothing bad in your life is going to happen for no reason. Like God has a plan. If God is going to put you to it, he's going to walk you through it. And I just want you to know that. I want you to have peace in whatever you're going through right now because life is really not easy. Life is hard, and your life might be harder than mine. And I'm not saying everything's great and butterflies because like I can really be that way sometimes. I really can. Sometimes I'm delusionally optimistic, but it feels so good to be there. It does, because I just want everything to be rainbows and butterflies. I know that life happens. Like it feels really good to be there. Like just being honest. Okay. Even though I'm delusionally optimistic, I have found myself lately like feeling a little bit more down in the dumps. But we go through ebbs and flows. Like think of life like a beach and the waves on the beach, and it flows, it goes in and out. And so if you're going through a hard time right now, just know that on the other side is like a little bit of peace, okay? I would show up to church. Oh, I love this. So this is another way how I changed my life. So after my divorce, I obviously was judged a lot by the church and I was judged a lot by people, but I didn't care. And one of the things that I heard God tell me clear as day is keep going to church no matter what. Who cares what they think? Who cares what they say? Who cares if you're not married anymore? Who cares if you're going through a divorce? Who cares if the church doesn't give a shit about you? Because God loves you and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter about the people. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I walked in there like I owned the place because I was like, whatever, I don't care about your judgment. I don't really care. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know the things I've seen and done to get to where I am right now. So I'm coming in here whether you like it or not, divorced or not, shit you not, okay? So I showed up every fucking Sunday. I literally lived an hour away. I drove to my Mimi's house every single Sunday with my 2 little boys who were literally still in diapers. And I sat in the same spot at church every single day, front row to the left, to be there for the women that needed me to be there for them during my hard time, because I knew that if I showed up, they would show up. Okay, real shit. This is not a joke. And I heard God say to me clear as day, just keep showing up. I know it's hard, and I know you have nothing to look forward to right now except for waking up and just trying to get through the day, because it was really hard at that time in my life. I was all alone. I was working my dental work, and I was temping and working for offices, getting fired, and that's a long story. I will share with you why I was getting fired. I had the kids in daycare and they kept getting sick. So for like 9 months, literally straight, my kids were in and out of the hospital with pneumonia, bronchitis, like you name it, they had it. And I kept getting fired from my jobs. And then one place was like, okay, we're firing you as an assistant, but we would love to have you like keep doing our social media managing. And that's how that started. And I never really looked back. I do have a story in that, because I did take a little bit of a break in between, but we'll get into that in another video, I promise, because I have a lot to share with you. So I was there for the girls who didn't feel so great and needed a person to lean on, and I was like, I got this, I can do it. I mean, imagine packing up 3 kids and yourself every single Sunday for, I mean, it's insane. So, and in doing that, it helped the women around me, and I met the man of my dreams, and that's what I wrote. One of the Sundays I was there, I was running out, I was in a rush, I was honestly not having that great of a day. I was really stressed out. You know, I was getting a case of the Mondays. Oh, the Mondays tomorrow. And I noticed the woman, because I knew the woman, because I see her everywhere I go, because she's always in TJ Maxx. She's always shopping, which is now my mother-in-law. And I did have a really bad shopping problem, which I'm going to talk about, that I cured, and I'm going to teach you how to do it too. But I would run into this woman everywhere, so I knew who she was. I went to school with Anthony's older brother, the middle one. And so I was like, oh my God, like oh my God, like literally time slowed down when I saw him. I was literally captivated from like the minute I saw him. And yes, I found him on Instagram, because like, why would I not? And I followed him and I pursued him so hard. And there's a whole story in that, because during my divorce, I thought that I wasn't good enough. I had a lot of men say to me, like, I'm not good enough, I'm too much, I'm too high maintenance. I mean, you name it. I was just like beaten down, and I would literally cry like every single night. I'd be like, this is stupid. Like, why am I being criticized as a Christian for being divorced? Like, I was literally being abused mentally, physically, emotionally. And why the fuck are people judging me for protecting myself and my children by leaving a marriage I was not meant to be in the first place? Like, what the fuck? So it was a very confusing time for me, and I had this idea in my head that I wasn't deserving of love. I wasn't deserving of a perfect relationship. And I did do NLP therapy, and maybe I'll put his link below. I'm pretty sure he's still practicing. He's like the best in the world. But I said to him, look, I don't believe that I deserve a perfect relationship because of XYZ. I've also never seen a perfect relationship in my life. I've only seen my grandparents, and I guess they never even had a great relationship. I thought it was great, and then when he passed away, you know, a whole can of worms came out about how like she just wasn't happy, and I didn't fucking know. So anyways, it was very confusing, and I did some NLP therapy. And I'm going to show you the diagram. I made a circle diagram with like things coming out of it that said exactly what I wanted in a man. And so I did a lot of therapy around finding the right partner, because I didn't want to date a shitty person again, because I just like don't have enough room in my life for shitty people anymore, especially going through a divorce like that. It was absolute fucking treacherous. And I put it in my other video, like, I don't encourage, and I'm not going to sit here and say divorce is the way, but if you're that fucking miserable, like, you only have one life. So, like, it was really hard to do that. But he wasn't happy and I wasn't happy. So I was like, why are we doing this? Like, this is stupid. And I met Anthony at church, and it was the best day of my life. And I did pursue him hard as fuck. But he pursued me hard as fuck. And that energy for me was everything. So we were equally yoked in that way. And I swear by this, I never gave up. I prayed huge prayers, I asked for big things, and I waited. So I have to tell you this, okay? And I swear to God, hand to the man, I swear to God, I did this 2 times, okay? The second time, I was a lot more specific. The first time I prayed for a marriage and blah, 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 and I didn't care what it looked like. I was like, God, just rescue me from my current situation. I was heartbroken over someone for literally no reason, and I got married, and I was in the bad marriage. That was my first marriage. The second big prayer that I prayed to God, and I wrote it down on the church walls. These 2 prayers, by the way, are literally written down on the cement walls of my church, literally, okay? Holy crap. So I really put out that intention that that's what I was praying for. Our church was doing this thing, and it was like, pray for big prayers. And I did pray for a big prayer, but I wasn't specific. So you need to be very specific for what you pray for, because God will give it to you, okay? The second time I did it, I wrote down, this is so embarrassing because I'm sure there's people watching me write this right now. But this time, I am not just praying for a husband. Oh, I'm going to cry. I am praying for a father. I am praying for a good man. I'm praying for a man of God. I'm praying for someone to love me and my children more than anything in this world and love God above all. Like, I wrote this whole thing, and I put a lot of intention in it. And I did it on Palm Sunday, and I met him like a couple months later or something like that, something crazy. And I met him in the same church. Like, we've been going to the same church forever. And the only reason why we ran into each other is because he brought his mother to church that day. Like I said, I was like, oh, I recognize that woman. I see her everywhere because she has a shopping problem. We all know this. And he was going to the 8 a.m. service. And if you know, I'm not going to wake up at 6 a.m. or fucking 5 a.m. to go to church at 8 a.m. in the morning. No, I was going to the 10 o'clock service. So he was like, oh, or no, I think he tried to get her to go to church and she wanted to go, but she was like, yeah, I'm not going at 8 a.m. either. Like, I'm going to go at 10 o'clock, 10:30 service, whatever. So if she hadn't been with him that day, I probably would have never ran into him. I probably would have never met him, or maybe I would have. I don't know. I like to call that the butterfly effect, and I'm going to go into that later as well. But long story short, I showed up every single day for me, my children, God, whatever you prioritize. I showed up every single day, whether I wanted to or not. Sometimes I had no gas money, and I was like, I'm still going to Port St. Lucie, which is an hour away from where I lived, and I'm still going to show up. I'm going to show up for those girls. I'm going to show up for me. I'm going to show up for my children, and I'm going to get this done. I don't care who's judging me. I don't care how I look. I'm going because I fucking get to. Okay? I get to. Judge me. Okay? And then I met him, and it was amazing, and it's been really, really wonderful. So I want to encourage you, if you're in a shitty relationship or you're waiting for that perfect person, I just want to tell you this too. I wasn't just patiently waiting for a man to just come into my life on a white horse and have a carriage ready for me. I was really working on myself too. That year was the year that I invested into my life coach. I got a life coach in 2022. I'll link him below. That's where I found my NLP coaching. And I was just very honest and raw with these people. I gave them a fuckload of my time, literally 3 months of my life. Was devoted to that, and I'm still very devoted to it, but I'm trying to wean off of it a little bit so I can learn how to trust myself, because I relied on them for so long to help me. I don't want to disable those muscles in me, if that makes any sense, okay? And I just want you to know something. Praying and manifestation is not like anything else. It isn't like Amazon. So a lot of the times when people are like, oh, I prayed for that. Oh, I'm trying to manifest that. It didn't come. Okay, it's not Amazon. Like, your prayers don't come like Amazon packages, okay? Like, it doesn't. Like, I waited for a long time for a lot of the things in my life to come, and I'm still waiting and praying for a couple of things. And if it's not meant for you, then that's okay. That's the problem with today. We expect results from everything. Like, we literally have like ChatGPT tell us the answer. We have Siri, we have Amazon, we have all these things to give us that instant gratification. And that's the problem, is like, we are not waiting and praying and writing down and taking the time and being in the physical world to like write stuff and just wait and pray on it. We're like, gimme, it's mine right now. Like, no, slow down. Please slow down and understand it takes time for these things to happen. And it's not about being at the right place at the right time. I cannot stress this enough. Okay, please. It's not about being at the right place at the right time. It's about being the right person at the right place at the right time. Because, like, think about it. If I showed up and I was at church that day passing my fiance and it looked like a disheveled shit show mess, which I felt like, but I didn't present myself that way, we probably would not be in a relationship right now. Okay, so it's not always about being at the right place at the right time. You need to work on yourself. And I can't emphasize this enough, because I remember early on in my career, I had a lot of opportunities come my way, like literally fall on my lap. Like, I had a Tony Robbins thing, like fall on my lap, to be his personal assistant, fall on my lap. And I was not the right person at the right place at the right time to get that job. And I obviously didn't get it because I wasn't the person for it, okay? I had a marketing gig that I was going to do for Skinny Girl, and I didn't get that either because I wasn't in my career long enough to really like show them, what can I do for you to elevate your business? Okay, so if you have opportunities passing you by, that's a really good indication that you just need to spend more time with yourself to elevate yourself. And don't take it personal, but you're just not you're not there yet, and that's okay, because things take time. Okay, those opportunities, if they are meant for you, they will never pass you by. Okay, think about it. When you lose weight, there's a drug for it. I was talking about like quick results, like Ozempic. Like, you have to think about your life like a muscle. Like, you want to lose something, gain something, you have to take really, like, you have to work at it, okay? Like working out. It's not just like Ozempic. It's not going to just happen like that, okay? Here's the butterfly effect thing, okay? I am huge on this. A crumb is a cookie is a buffet, just like the butterfly effect is too. You might think something is this big, in reality it's this big. And a lot of the things that are this big, like little in your life, really equal out to be the big things, okay? So really pay attention, write down for the next like couple of weeks, month, what your routine is. And if you're not doing a little bit every single day, please understand how easy it is to implement one little baby step every single day. If you implement one little baby step every single day, you are ahead of the game. I don't know the statistic on it. I wish I did. Okay. Mm-hmm. And while you're at it, maybe go watch The Butterfly Effect if you haven't. It's a really good movie, but it'll give you a really good visual of how like little things really add up to the big things, okay? I wrote something here and I don't understand it. Think about ants. Oh yeah, think about ants when they're working. Ants are literally like almost microscopic, and they're like taking little crumbs at a time, but like before you know it, like the whole freaking thing is gone. The whole cookie's gone if they're taking a cookie. So just think about your life as like a little thing, like just do a little bit at a time. Think about Michelangelo. That wasn't built on a day. He did little itsy bitsy chisels at a time. It's granite. Like look how flawless that granite. No, it's marble. It's marble or granite. No, it's marble. Okay, chip away at your life. So one of the things that made me think about a lot of things is one time I heard someone say, I'm not drinking. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like we live in a social world. Like how are you not drinking? P.S. I'm not drinking, not because I grew up around an alcoholic and I don't agree with it and I have an addictive behavior, but it's because I understand what a little bit over a long period of time can do. And I don't want that for my life. I don't want my kids to see their mother drink wine. It's just a personal preference, but think about what I said earlier about the analogy of if you work out for 30 years, what's the result? If you drink every day or every weekend for the next 30 years, what's your result? Okay. It all adds up. A little things add up to the big things. Okay, so I kept a journal. I brought my journal here for you guys to see. My nail girlie texted me, I have a nail appointment. Okay, perf, be there soon. Had to wait for Anthony. Sorry, I have to text her back. I have a journal for every year. Like I said, if you're new here, it's okay if you've never seen this, but I do this for every year. Yes, I learned it from my coach, my life coach, and I used to journal anyways, but it wasn't this organized. So every year I have, obviously the year, I have, this is kind of his design. Like he taught us how to do this. This is how many days until I'm 80. I put my personality here. There's a 16 personalities test, which really helps if you're in a career that you don't know you want to be in. Like this will literally change your life. It'll tell you what type of jobs you should do, what type of person you are, yada yada, whatever. It's really good. You need to know yourself. God tells you to know thyself. Whoever tells you to know thyself, you need to know who you are, to know where you're going, to know what you want to do. It's very, very good. And like, just do it, okay? Like, we're trying to improve our lives here. Just do it, all right? I put down a lot of stuff. Do you qualify? Not an if, but when. Raise your standards. Close the gap. Refuse to settle. Shine so bright it burns their fucking eyes. I love that one, and I seem to do really good at that. When I used to read about fairy tales, I never imagined it would be this. The most important work you'll ever do is in yourself. True confidence you desire lies in the fears you avoid. Believe in the gap. How you do anything is how you do everything, okay? I put my vision board here. I wrote a letter to myself here. I have who is she. I am very clear about who I want to be and what I want to do. I have my noble truths, to kindness and love, the things we need most. I got that from the Grinch, but I love it. Self-love is a decision you make when you finally come to learn that everything you are experiencing is a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. So I just have a bunch of quotes here. 2024, my goals, Shelby 3.0, I am affirmations. I have everything in here. I fill this up. I'll show you the design for my book. I did speak with an attorney today to make sure that everything I'm doing I can do legally. Nothing's copyrighted. It's called Unbreakable. I want to write a book for you guys. I'll read a little bit to you. And I'm going to edit this. Like, this is just like rough draft. Explore the transformative journey of overcoming adversity in this inspiring memoir. Navigate life's challenges with practical workbooks, emphasizing positivity, gratitude, and self-improvement. Join me on a path of resilience, offering insights to help others triumph over tough times and discover the power to shape a bright future. Okay, so there's just like a little bit. I just wanted to show you because I look at this almost every single day. Sometimes I don't look at it and I think about it in my mind. It's like embedded in my brain. But I kept a journal and I look at it because sometimes we get discouraged and we have to remind ourselves of who we are. Okay, it's really important to remind yourself of who you are every single day because you will have days of discouragement. You will have days where you're like, what the fuck's going on? What am I doing with my life? I don't fucking know. Who am I? Maybe you've had a kid. Maybe you've had a career change. Maybe you've had a relationship bump. I don't know. But you need to know who you are in those moments because life will trample you. Okay. I stopped talking and started focusing on the things and how okay, so basically what I wrote in that note is I really, and I'm getting better at this, but I am slow to speak now. And I focus more on like how things are making me feel other than words. Like basically actions will always speak louder than words type of a thing. Because I've noticed that I would try so hard in my friends and my relationships and my jobs and nothing was reciprocated. So now I'm only investing things where I am getting a return, and that's not selfish, but that's like prioritizing yourself and like knowing your worth. And if you devalue yourself, no one's going to value you. Like it's just true. Okay, it's just true. And I'm not trying to sound any type of way, but you need to really value yourself. Okay, because if you don't, nobody else will. I stopped talking and started focusing on how things made me feel in my friends, relationships, and spending habits. I told you I had a really bad spending habit. So what I did to fix that is I had an Amazon account. I literally deleted it, gone with all the books, because you know how you have your audiobook is attached, gone. I was like, fuck it, who cares? I have a problem. I need to stop. Okay, I made a budget and everything. Like when I tell you I reinvented my life, it is not a joke. It's true. I'm not perfect. Okay, I'm not promoting perfection, but I am promoting being better. Okay, I just don't want my kids to go without, or me to go without because I have a bad budget or a bad habit of spending things on Amazon, and then you don't even know what the fuck you spent your money on because it's all shit. Okay, this is so true. I replaced music with podcasts. Okay, this is huge. Okay, I remember being in church not that long ago. Look, I have nothing against church, but there's a lot of things I have disagreed with for a very long time, and I'm very, very open about them now. But I remember someone saying, vibes aren't real. I beg to fucking differ. Vibes are real. Vibrations are literally scientifically proven, okay? And if the vibes are off, like, no thank you, okay? I am very empath. I feel everything. And if your vibe is off, if the vibration is off, I'm affected. Like, don't. I've gotten better at having like this like protective way of me where like if you're in a shit mood or you're in whatever, it's like it doesn't affect me. I can't really like, no thanks. I'm not adapting your energy. But when you listen to certain music, like let's just say Adele, for instance, I love Adele, but I can't listen to Adele because every time I listen, the vibes mess with me. So be very, 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 very careful what you listen to because there is a vibrational frequency that is attached to it and it's probably making you depressed. Just like when you're like sad and on your period or sad like over a breakup and you listen to sad music, stop it. Put on a podcast. Listen to someone who's going to be like, you're going to be fucking fine. You know, cry about it, take a bath, and get over it. And I say that lightly because, listen, I have had my fair share of heartbreak, and I know it's not that easy. But I'm just saying, replace what you're listening to because vibes are a thing, and they will affect you, okay? I replaced drinking with water and yummy drinks. I will admit I have a very, 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 very hard time drinking water, but I'm doing my best to find things that like make me happy about drinking, like coconut water, love it. Coffee, obviously that's probably going to dehydrate me more than anything, but I love it. So for every coffee, I'll have 2 cups of water. Realistically, I'm getting better at that. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. I'm not really that great about drinking water yet, but I'm getting there. I replaced shopping with creating, which is true. Instead of me scrolling on Amazon, I started creating things, and that's how this channel came about. That's how my content started getting better, is I was less focused about like my habits than I was about what I wanted to do for the world, which was give back instead of consume, okay? I looked at who I wanted to be and I went after it. Literally, my journal, let me pull this out again. I want you to do this for yourself. I want you to do an audit of your life. What do you want to do better? Where do you want to go? What in your life is not up to par? And I want you to go after it, okay? I tried to go in depth as I could with you today. Copy me. Who is she? You see this at the top. Who is she? It's in the middle. It's backwards, but who is she? How does she dress? Where is her focus? Where is she living? What are her boundaries? What are her accomplishments? How much money does she make? How do people treat her? What does she post? Who does she aspire to be? Who is she dating? What is her wellness habits? What is her career? What is her mental diet? What is her weekly routine? Okay, I will leave a link below with my Pinterest, and a lot of my ideas come from there. Journaling wise, I have awesome journal prompts. It's all free. I'm not charging you a dime for any of these things. Go on there, inspire yourself, get journal prompts, get things. Okay, I just started to create. Oh my God, my whole dresser is like going haywire. Let me actually switch this. Let me take a drink. Okay, now what else? I was broke, unhappy, and not knowing what I wanted to do with my life. What is your intention? I stopped worrying what others would think of me. Okay, that's the last thing. So I was really broke. I was really unhappy, and listen, everything is fixable. You just have to be willing to sit in it and be like, what do I need to fix? What do I need to do? How am I going to get through this? And just do it. Okay, sweetie, like, I'm here for you. I got you, but like, you cannot live in this state all the time. Like, life is really good. You just have to go after your dreams. Okay, what is your intention? And this is the last and biggest thing that I will say. No, it's not. The last thing is about worrying what other people think. But I heard this thing the other day, and I guess Oprah called someone and said this to someone. What is your intention? Tell me your intention in one sentence. My intention here is to help guide people to the next level, to not feel so lonely, and to help people realize that they are loved, seen, heard, everything above. Okay. What is your intention? If your intention is not good and pure to yourself, then a lot of the things coming into your life are not going to be that great. Please ponder on that. What is your intention? Where are you going? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up? Be very, very intentional. In 2022, my word of the year, and I said this in my last video, was in being intentional. I want you to be so intentional, it's sickening. I was so unintentional. I was aloof. I don't know if you know what that word is, but it means that basically you're in la la land all the time. And like, I would forget people's birthdays. I would forget everything. I was just like in my own world so much that people like didn't like me because I was just not a good friend, not a good partner, not a good worker, not a good anything, because I wasn't being intentional. And then I started getting very overly intentional. Everyone's birthday's in my calendar, whether we're friends or not. Like, your birthday's in my calendar. I have a calendar for everything. I have a journal for everything. I'm intentional with myself. I'm intentional with my children. I'm intentional with literally everything because I want people to know that I care. And if you don't care, then guess what? I don't care either. Moving on, okay? And I just want you to know that that'll really change everything. What's your intention with your job? What's your intention with your diet, your living situation, your relationship, literally everything? What's your intention? Once you change the focus to intention of love and goodness, like everything out of that will be very, very good. And the last thing is I stopped worrying about what others would think about me. I stopped caring. I'm not living for anyone. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. Like, I just want to live a good life. And I had to stop worrying about what other people thought about me. I just did. It just wasn't serving me. And like, honestly, it's been so, so, so good. I think Anthony just got home. Perfect timing. But I wanted to write this down for you because I really wanted to give you the honest to God everything. And I tried to do nitty-gritty details, and I will have to go into nitty-gritty details again. If you want nitty-gritty details, you're going to have to leave a comment below exactly what you want to hear, because sometimes I'm like, what do they want to hear? Like, I have no idea. But thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. The channel is growing, and I'm so happy that I get to have a community of people that are like you. And like, it's so fun and it's so cool. And you're so loved. And I just want you to know that. And I just want you to know that life is such a beautiful gift. I don't want you to feel like you're a victim, because you're not. You just have to tell yourself you're not a victim. You're a warrior, because you are. And God loves you. You have a God-given gift. Don't you dare give up on your gift, okay? I have got to go. This coffee is amazing, by the way. It's all organic. Please stop drinking shitty coffee. They ship, they deliver, whatever it is. Listen, it's organic. Did you know that coffee is the most processed thing we could put in our body? And if you're anything like me, I'm drinking coffee all damn day. Please don't do that to yourself. Listen, I love you. I really, really wanted to make sure that this video was good for you. Oh my God, hi, look at him. Come here. Look, hear that giggle? Hi. Oh, Valentino, look at that hair. Oh my God. Hey, Bert.
He laughs all over me.
Hey, Bert. We call him Bert. So me and Anthony got engaged and we had a baby, and I want to say happily ever after, but you know. But anyways, this is my third. Yeah, this is my third mooshki. What do you want to say? You want to blow a kiss? Mwah! Mwah! He was blowing everyone kisses today everywhere we went. Mwah! Mwah! Yes, you're the sweetest. Bye, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I love you.